Okay, I let it sit overnight. It was fine. It didn't leak anything. And I already went ahead and ran file around it on the top and then on the bottom a little bit. And I'm ready to prime it. This is the primer that I'm going to use. Self-etching primer. And then I don't know if I'm going to paint it black or red. I'm thinking red. Red enamel. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and prime it and hang it up to dry. So, and then when I come back, we'll work on the cylinder head gasket and getting that push rod set to the right length. Okay, I got the fuel tank over there primed. It's with the acid etch primer, and we'll wait for that to dry up good. And then I'm going to paint it red. About this color red. Here. Have my helper watching me here. Alright, so we're going to take the cylinder head off. Make sure everything is turned off. And we'll put the plug up there for now. And then I should make a shorter pin for this. What I'm going to do is just make a drop-in pin for this. Instead, I don't like the looks of this big cotter key in there. I just don't like that looks of it. So we'll take this apart here and take the cylinder head off and get a gasket in that. That one wasn't really all that tight. These are number 540 screws, button heads. I looked for hex heads, I didn't find any. I would kind of like to put hex head bolts in that, but you know, well, this will work. And I might find them yet, you know, because I'm going to take, after I run, if I get it running and run it a while, I want to go back and polish, you know, radius a lot of the edges and polish it and decide whether I'm going to paint the motor or not. I'm more likely I will paint the flywheels. Last one. And there we go. Now, I'm thinking that I can just take a piece of material. If I oil this with some thick oil and then just press it on there and then take it off, and I should be able to see. I'll get my gasket cutters here. I should break down and make a gasket cutter big enough to cut that OD. I have one, I believe, that will cut the ID and bigger. Yeah, this one will cut the ID. And yeah, the OD is not, I don't have anything big enough. They're easy to make. I mean, they're not much to them. Especially the bigger ones, you don't even have to put this cutout for the slug to go, because it's big enough you can take a drill afterwards, spin it into the slug and pull it out. So, just don't want to bang them around too much and ruin the edges. So the smallest one I have for the screws, I think it's this one right here, which is a 1/4 inch. I should make, that'll work, because that is close to a 1/4 inch. But see, these have cutouts in them for the slugs to go, these smaller ones, because it's kind of hard to get the slugs back out of these if you. So, and then we need a piece of plastic. Here we go. I've been using this plastic. You can tell it's all scarred up. And then I could put Prussian blue on there, but I think that's overkill. I don't think I need to do that. I think I can get by with just a and I'm not sure what I want to use for gasket material. I was going to use can't think of the name of the stuff now. I have it for my V8s, and I have some left over, but I didn't really want to use that. I've been having pretty good luck with just some fibrous material, cereal boxes, or Pop-Tarts. So I'm gonna get a scissor and I'm gonna try this Pop-Tarts box. Scissor and oil can. We'll just wet the front of that face down of the cylinder with some oil and see if we can't get an impression. A lot of these you can actually separate the shiny stuff from the fibrous stuff. But what I usually do is I take and glue the shiny part, either to the head, or I don't put gasket glue on both sides because you want to be able to take that off easy without having to fight it. So we'll just take and put it down there like that. And this is just transmission fluid, really. I use that for various things around the shop. Okay, wipe my finger off here. And we'll see if we can't get a bit of an impression. Just kind of pushing around on the edges. It kind of gives me the general idea, the general vicinity. So that's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to dab that off before it. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but it gives me a spot to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is go around and punch the small holes. Didn't bring a hammer over. Okay. Oops. Some brackets underneath my bench. This is my Old Faithful ball peen hammer. I've had this 43 years. I used it at work, and I can't blame anybody for the handle here. I was mad at something, and when I was trying to get it apart, and I missed and hit right there, but that handle's been hanging on ever since, so it's no big deal. We just take and center it over those holes and pop them through. You don't have to hit it hard. Just give it one little tap, and you magically have a hole. Now I'm just going to hold that up there to see if those holes will line up, and they do. They do pretty good. So now we'll cut the center out. I find the center harder to center than the holes, because about there somewhere. I'm going to go for it right there. And plus, you take a few more hits, a couple more hits than... See, now, to get that out of there, I'll just take a drill and pull it out. But yes, I can see now it's off. It is off center. But it'll be okay. So now I'm gonna cut around that with my scissors. And that's why I say I wish I would had a large. And this stuff is pretty thick. That's why I say we're going to have to readjust the push rod, definitely. I probably could have got by with a paper filter in there and not so thick. That'll work. Throw that over there. I'll get my gasket glue. Wipe this off a little bit. And here it is. Permatex. Could probably got by with just putting this in, as a matter of fact, by itself. I'm almost tempted to go ahead and just use paper. Let's have a hole through it. I'm trying to get the rubber slug out of the end of it here. There we go. Yeah. And just put it around the one side here. I have some regular gasket material, but it's thicker than this even, and I didn't want to use that. And like I say, I've gotten by with doing it with cereal boxes before. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, I did that on a Briggs & Stratton engine 2 or 3 times. On a go-kart. See, the holes are off just a little bit, so I'm trying to get it to where I can get all the screws in. Alright, let's give her a whirl here. We'll put the top screw in first here. Then we'll put the bottom one in. And then we'll put the rocker arm pivot post on next here, if I can get the washers on there, and had washers on there to move it out a little ways on the head. Come on. There we go. I'll get the Q-tip when I get done here because it's squeezing out some of the gasket material, and clean that up. Oh, I know something else I need to make it. Gasket for the gasket ring for the spark plug. It won't take very long to make that. Probably take me longer to find material to use than to actually make it. Tighten them up all the way around. Okay, I think I got them all tight. Alright, so now I'm going to grab a couple Q-tips. Or a few. and work my way around that. And get through there. Not enough room. Got most of it cleaned up. All right. Okay. Now put the rocker arm back on, and then we'll have to adjust the length. And then when I make that gasket for the spark plug, I'll make this pin too. What I'll do is I'll make a pin to slide through, And I'll take a slitting saw on the end of it and slit it, and then I can just open it up just a little bit. That way it won't vibrate out, and you push it in because it'll have a little bit of a spring action to it. Just little things here and there that need to be done yet. I could have rushed into it and got it running, I suppose, but I don't like doing that. I like to have most of the stuff settled and what how I want it to look and be. Just dragging my feet. All right, so we've got a pretty good gap there now, and I want to get that gap as small as I can, and that's a 1/4 inch. I have that square nut that I made in there to lock that. I made that a 1/4 inch, so to be able to get a 1/4 inch and loosen that up and then turn it out a ways. And this isn't tightened on. It's tighten enough to where it doesn't want to turn though. I'd say the set screw made a mark on the, there we go. Okay. We have about maybe 5 thou gap there now. We are, yep, we're on the low. We're not on the lobe. I want about maybe a 10 thou gap.